The disadvantages of trade are job outsourcing, more competition for domestic industry, degradation of natural resources, poor working conditions, theft of intellectual property. Because of trade, certain goods may be cheaper to produce overseas than to make domestically. Because of this, job losses are likely to happen. Because foreign labor is typically cheaper, it is beneficial for companies to allocate their human resources outside the country. This hurts the domestic economy. When Apple chooses to manufacture its iPhones in China, Americans loses jobs, as the cost of labor is a lot cheaper in China. It would be costly for Apple to produce in America. This is because workers need to be paid more. International trade poses a big threat towards the development of domestic industries, hindering their growth, leading sometimes to collapse. This is caused by intense competition as well as unrealistic imports, which takes over the local market with cheap goods, resulting in the death of local businesses. For example, the entry of cheap footwear from other countries has damaged the local shoe industry of the Philippines. Free trade encourages businesses to move to countries with poor environmental and labor regulations. These moves could potentially lead to systematic labor abuses and destruction of the environment when foreign companies move operations to a country without any rules that protect the environment. The goal for businesses in developed nations is to exploit natural resources in other regions where restrictions or regulations are not strict. The companies from the developed world often sell short-term gains for long-term problems. Money from natural resources exploitation can fund government operations and encourage corruption, allowing the wealthy to benefit while the working poor struggles to survive. The reason for this disadvantage involves the competition requirement for free trade. The goal is to create an overall lack of restrictions so that consumers can have cheaper goods. That means paying unfair wages and lowering costs, promoting poor working conditions that workers must endure. Some nations even permit the hiring of children for factory jobs or heavy labor, placing them in dangerous substandard conditions. Some workers in Jordan, for example, that produce clothing for American retailers, might work for 20 hours a day, not receive a paycheck for months, then face physical abuse. The wider a product is distributed, the more likely that it may be illegally copied by overseas businesses. Piracy can be in the form of proprietary information or market branding. This is a huge market loss for many businesses, especially for well-known brands. It is very difficult for a company to prosecute intellectual property violators across country borders.